when you start letting go, purging and decluttering, you're probably going to feel some emotions. There's a lot of emotional attachments. It's such a profound process because you're letting go of things of the past as you're physically letting go of things as well. Could be things from your parents, could be things that were gifted from a previous season, a previous, when your kids were little. So be prepared for a lot of emotions to start bubbling up during this process. And also, you could feel guilt, resentment when you let it go, like, oh, I should keep this, or, oh, I don't know. Like, so their fear kind of creeps in. It's an emotional roller coaster. And you could also feel some withdrawals as you start stopping the spending. And I'm specifically talking about impulse spending. I'm not talking about being so frugal that you don't enjoy life. I'm talking about that impulse. You're not thinking clear and you're being pushed into action so quick, from whatever late night shopping or an influencer or just these habits of, I need to have this, I gotta have that. It's that impulse that is what you're trying to stop. During this time that you're going through this life change, or if you're deciding to simplify your life, I would suggest don't go into thrift stores. Don't follow your favorite influencer. I've had to do that when I was going through this. I couldn't be on my phone at night because I wasn't thinking clear. And that's when I would be on, Instagram or whatever, shopping. I had to unfollow people that were prompting me to buy things that later I would return. So it was like, what's the ratio of things I'm actually keeping from this person who's telling me that I need this? So I had to really cut some of those ties just until I could get stronger, because you're in kind of a weak spot. So even though you're letting go of things, you have to stop the cycle of the overconsumption of bringing the stuff in. If you have to cut up or close the credit cards, do it. And again, you're going to feel some withdrawals. And it's difficult, like maybe keep one card open and cut the rest, or whatever you got to do to make the changes so you don't go crazy and, freak out on everybody around you. Do that, because you still have to live life, and you don't want to be like all mean and aggressive to everybody around you and short-tempered. And this process could really cause that. But at the end of that, there's freedom, there's breakthrough, there's liberation, there's the life that you should have, there's simplicity. For women, clothes is always a big thing. Like, start in your closet. Clothes was never like a huge thing for me, but I still had things that I didn't use or wear, or that just sat there, or they were for like my, pretend self that I thought, oh, one day I'm going to wear it, or one day I might fit into that, or whatever, or I had it for so long and I really like it, but I don't wear it anymore. Whatever the reason is, I just simplified. So first I cut things in half, and I donated to women that needed nice clothes. There's a lot of women that have come out of sex trafficking, or who have been ex-addicts and they need to get a job. So they have, they don't have anything proper, no proper attire for a job interview, skirts or dresses or blazers or dress pants or shoes. So I would donate to those types of places. In Phoenix, there's the Dream City Church, which runs the Dream Center, and they'll gladly take nice clothes. You don't give a bunch of stained, stuff with holes and it's all bundled up in a trash bag garbage. You can't, you don't feel good when there's no sacrifice. When you're giving something of value or something that you really love, there's a sting to it because it's a sacrifice. You're like, ooh, this still has tags on it. I mean, so it should hurt a little bit because it's a sacrifice. You're letting that thing go. But when you know that the recipient is going to really cherish that, it might not be something that they could ever purchase or afford, or when you know it's going to bless or to change, that it doesn't sting as bad. It's so much better. So find a place that's dear to your heart, or a cause or a family that could really use the excess that you have. Bless somebody with all of that, with the abundance that you have. And I have two big purses, two main purses. So I have these, I've got a light colored one and a dark colored one. They're just these handy bags. I keep this size because I keep a taser in it. And so I like to have a little bigger purse. But That's my spring, summer, and then I keep a brown one, like a cognac color, for fall and winter. And I have a couple little purses, like if am going out, I need just to carry, I'm not carrying my big taser out to dinner. I'm taking, just a little bag with some lipstick or gum or something. I have a few of those. I have like 2 winter and 2 summer ones. And a beach bag. So one that I could take like to the pool or something like that with my kids. And that's it. And I grew up, my grandma, I remember one time going into her closet and she was in there on a ladder and I couldn't open the door all the way. And I said, Grandma, what are you doing? She's like, don't come in here. I'm busy. I said, well, what are you doing? And I peeked in. She's like, I'm organizing my purses. And she must have had 60 to 100 purses that she was lining up. And she was a thrifter. She loved going to Goodwill. She loved going to thrift stores. She loved having different options. And that was her thing. Like, she liked to have different jewelry and purses, and she liked to match. And so, bless her heart, like that. Some people just like that. So I'm not telling you to not have that. Obviously, if you like the jewelry and the purses and the shoes, give yourself some options. And if that makes you feel good, then obviously keep doing it. But it was to the point of like, okay, well, how many of these do you need? And you're in there for 2 hours. You're spending 2 hours of your life that you could be exercising or going for a walk or doing something a little bit more purposeful than organizing on a ladder in your, all of these purses. And really, over a decade or 5 years, she only rotated through maybe 5, maybe 10 tops. But I had only seen her wear, she had her favorites. And so she would use her favorites. Same thing with jewelry. It was like, this is my favorite ring, my favorite necklace. There was a few other options, but it was at the point where there was stuff under the beds. There was stuff in the drawers. You opened the drawers, they were packed. The kitchen was a whole nother mess. Like lids that didn't go to anything. Tons of scrap paper. Tons of plastic cups, plastic forks. People have this habit of saving all of this little things just in case. It's like a just in case. And it's clutter. You open up a drawer in the kitchen and it's got all this plasticware, straws, gadgets that you've never hardly use. I mean, think about it. You hardly ever use any of that stuff, but it's there. And so you're thinking, well, just in case I need all these lids or all these plastic cups from, the restaurants that I saved at, or tumblers. I mean, so I have 1 cup that I use for water, lemon water and protein. And my husband has one, and that's it. We just each have our own. When they get dirty or used, we replace them, and that's it. And if it's not clean, I wash it so I could use it again. And when I open the drawer, there's my cup. There's just that 1 cup. It's just so simple. And with cups, Stanley cups, $80 a cup. I mean, and then people are selling a Stanley cup holder, and then a Stanley cup lid, and then a Stanley cup purse to fit it in. Don't forget about the straw cover. You got to get the Stanley Cup straw cover, because those cups tip over because they're so top heavy that it spills out. So now you need to get so you're walking around with a $200 aluminum cup, and you have 10 of those or 5 of those. And like the waste is just insane. It's just got clutter in different areas of the house produces cortisol. And when you have too much cortisol, you could have high estrogen. It also produces weight gain. All of these things affect the nervous system in your body. So it goes hand in hand. A cluttered home usually means a cluttered body, which means inflammation, weight gain, hormone imbalance. It's all interconnected. And even though you may not feel that it's bothering you, it subconsciously is triggering things. And kids are even more susceptible to this. This is why when kids' rooms are messy, they don't want to be in them. They don't want to play in them. They're overly stimulated easy. They're anxious. And it's the same thing in their body. You give them too many ingredients, all these red food dyes and colorings and fake flavors and sugars. I mean, all this junk, it's too much in their body. And then they're acting out, then they have behavioral issues and they're acting out. Simple food, whole foods, fruits, vegetables, meats, grains. I mean, sourdough bread is good. There's so many, and it's delicious. And simple things in the home, simple closets, simple drawers. You're going to feel so much better. You're going to be motivated to live a cleaner, healthier life. And you're going to feel clarity. You're going to have like order in your mind and in your brain. I bet you there'll be less tension in the house. between your spouse and you, because when you're home, and right now there's an epidemic of homebodies, people just hanging out at home all the time, which is great. It's your sanctuary. But all of that stuff is, especially when it's just everywhere. It's all over the place. Your mind is like all the time. So here you are trying to find a place to rest, and it can't. And you're like, why can't I sleep good? Well, your room is full of stuff. So in the bedrooms, like, I don't keep bookshelves. They collect dust. They're too busy. It's too much stuff. Your bedroom should be the most simplified space. That's your place to really reset and unwind. The other thing is, we haven't had a TV in probably 5 years. And we haven't had, even when we did have a TV, we haven't had Netflix or cable or anything in over a decade. That's been a big key thing, because TVs trigger so much noise and nonsense. And I just thought, oh, could we live without? Of course we can. You can always stream what you want on a computer or something like that. So we don't even have a TV. We've really just simplified in that area as well. So I'm going to be showcasing, if you're following me on Instagram, my Instagram, Scottsdale Design Services, that's where I showcase more of my lifestyle. This is lifestyle. You're going to see more behind the scenes, less talks, more design, more decluttering. I also showcase different ways to decorate in an elevated way, and really just mindful living, healthy eating, fitness, and how we live. So Scottsdale Design Services is my Instagram page. And I do like to showcase, like the kitchen. How do you keep your drawers, and how do you keep the cabinets, and what do things look like, and closets and stuff like that. So feel free to follow me on there, and comment here if you have any questions, or you want to share any tips on how decluttering and simplifying your life has helped you. Share it here, because a lot of people really, really need this right now. And not very many people are talking about the profound liberation that comes from simplifying and elevating. That's a key. Simplify to elevate your life.